given the gains you mentioned at Phoenix, does that kind of, portend well for when you go to Martinsville, which is another, shorter, flat track? Because since you've been in the 8 car, that is one of the places where you had lots of success but struggled with RCR.
Yeah. Each week's different, right? As we have a small sample size right now with the start of the season and only having a few races. So as we continue to add to that sample size of Vegas and Miami and go to Martinsville, hit a Bristol, a Darlington, I feel like then you'll really start to see where you stack up. And so the season's changed so fast also. You don't want to start hot and then, have NASCAR looking over you with a microscope, and then, you have different issues getting through tech each week that then kind of derail your summer. So, you've got to be careful and be patient with everything that you've got going on. But, that sometimes can be a defining factor as well, too, to your season and how you play it out.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire. Sort of as a follow-up to hers, given that it's been a while since you won a race, is it difficult to keep your emotions in check and not push too hard when you feel like you've got a car that's capable of winning?
It is. I would say, when I was winning a lot, you were doing it quite often. You were in position quite often. And so you could harness those emotions and those feelings and to be able to go out there and just do your job and kind of let it come to you. Kansas last fall, I felt rushed. I felt hurried. I felt like I needed to get through the traffic as fast as I could, and I put myself in a bad spot, and we hit the wall and lost the race. So, those things are certainly on your mind as you come to them, especially with as close as the competition is today. It's rare that you see, I guess unless you're Tiny Kyle, it's rare that you see 3-second gaps to the next guy behind you. You're always kind of fighting within that 1 second gap that you have to a guy behind you. So you can lose a half a second in one lap if you get the wrong lane through a corner and you get in somebody else's wake. So you don't have much room to breathe.
Secondly, we're talking about your performance, the three straight top tens, and the direction this team is going. How much do you want to see from this team, or have early season success as it pertains to then when you start weighing your future and what you're seeing from this team, and how much that's going to weigh in?
Yeah, I mean, obviously having good runs and solid race cars and cars that feel like they should and drive like they should is a big important piece to all of that. So so far so good. I mean, from last year to this year, just Legos being the same, apparently they're not. Because we're doing something different and cars are driving much better. So, again, I just appreciate the efforts and values of everyone at RCR putting all that in. And so, there's not a team out there that'll outwork us, that's for sure. And so we're going to continue that grit and to go out there and make sure that we have good pieces and, keep performing.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. I've got two. One of them is about your season and you and Randall sitting down at the beginning of the year and figuring out which tracks you're going to, I know you're going to try to win every week, but do you focus on certain tracks that you may have a better shot at? And does that morph throughout the year? As you perform well here, you might think that, hey, we learned something that we can apply at X track down the road.
No, we don't circle any venue or anything like that to say, hey, this is a place that we want to go win. We know we can win here. No. Like, we just try to elevate the whole program. If you elevate the whole program's going to, bring yourself to the front and being able to capitalize on good runs. And honestly, like a lot of times with the way pit stops are, with the way sometimes strategy goes, with the way restarts are, with the way calamity is, if you are running between 4th and 7th every single week, you will at one point or another in the race be eligible or be racing for a win. And so, yeah, obviously you got to race for the win at the end, but if you're within that position, there's going to be some guys that falter. You literally, a lot more times than not, guys beat themselves out of a win. So you just can't be that team that does that. So I feel like getting to that level of that 4th through 7th, 4th through 8th range, where we've been just on the outside brink of last week at Phoenix, then we'll have a shot.